Okay. Chapter 17. Meditation. Where your attention is where you are. Summum. This great Summa axiom embodies the idea that all things are subject to the principles of Summum, including your attention and your spirit. Meditation is a process of awakening you to your spirit. Most humankind simply talk about having a spirit, and some believe they have one, but are not really sure. For you are so involved in the drama of your physical life that your consciousness is bound up in your ego and bodily nature and appetites, making you asleep to your spirit. The experience of awakening to the spirit is similar to one most of you reading this book have had. You can call on the Summa principle, as above, so below, as below, so above, to assist you in your understanding of the experience and how it relates to the search for spirit. Remember those times you were asleep, when you realized that you were sleeping, involved in dreaming? All at once you realized you were dreaming and that your attention was in your dream. Yet you weren't able to move your attention to the edge of your dream, next to being awake. There at the edge, next to awake, you decided to go back into your dream and to direct it with your will in order to fulfill some desire. In other words, you discovered that you could manipulate your dream to some extent by directing it with your will and attention. Many of you were able to fly in your dreams. You could peer out of your dream and you could peer out of your dream and realize you were just dreaming and draw strength from this awareness with the greater potential of your awakened consciousness. This recognition while asleep that you are just dreaming and that the real you is on the other side of or just as above sleep corresponds to the awakening to your spirit. When you discover your spirit, you will be able to draw strength from it in a manner similar to the way you do from the awakened consciousness of your dream state. The conscious realization of your spirit is attained by meditation. As you direct your attention by meditation to your spirit and withdraw it from the involvement in the vivid dream of your ego and physical life and bodily appetites, you begin to comprehend how asleep you are. When, through meditation, you awaken to your spirit, you will perceive how humorous you have been to not have known your spirit sooner. Humorous because being awake to your spirit is so much more awake than graphic physical body life, much the same by comparison as physical body life consciousness is to your dream in sleep. As above, so below, as below, so above. As you awaken to your spirit, you begin to realize your eternal nature. And as you realize your eternal nature, your fear of death diminishes. A new perspective of death starts to emerge, and you begin to approach the subject with an entirely different attitude. It's an attitude of wonder, curiosity, and learning. The revealing light of life starts to shine because it is when you are no longer afraid of death that you can truly begin to live. Against his will, he dies, the one that has not learned to die. Learn to die, and you shall learn to live. For there will be no one who learns to live that has not learned to die. Summum. Meditation leads you to your spirit. It leads you to death, and death leads you to life. It is a technique. It is a process. The technique of meditation is immersion, the concentrating of your attention at a single point, using your will to fix your attention at that point. In meditation, your attention is immersed, vibrating at a single point. Using your will, you prevent your attention from being attracted to The infinite other points are distractions on the scale of consciousness. The paragon point to emerge in is that point of pure, alert, clear, total, undisturbed, and open consciousness, Summa. The point behind all action and manifestation creation, above your vivid dream of physical body life. Meditation is the vehicle of surrender which transports your attention to the door behind which your spirit resides. There it lies at the edge next to awakening from the involvement of the intensity of your physical body life. Meditation is the copulation of your attention going into and out of the womb of creation. An explanation of what is meant by the in and out follows. Excuse me, I got off there. The in. When your attention is fixed, immersed, at that single point in Summa, and your attention begins to harmonize, sing, dance, and vibrate in the presence of Summa, you harmonize with the same resonance as Summa, which awakens you to your spirit. Just as a tuning fork will pick up the same resonance when held next to or touched by a master tuning fork, already vibrating, you begin to resonate with the vibration of that point on the scale of consciousness at which you immerse yourself. The out. This mental exercise must be balanced with the dance of rhythmic physical exercise. Thus, the mind, body, and spirit, the whole person, is brought to the center between the point of all action and the manifested creation, and its opposite, the point of Summa. Human beings are constantly engaged in some form of meditation. They allow their attention to be drawn from one point to another on the scale of consciousness. Yet most humans will have little will to hold their attention at a single point for any significant period or duration. The result is felt in the general chaos and schizophrenic condition of the mass mind. However, through exercise of the will, by means of holding your attention at a single point, your will builds strength. A stronger will develops, which in turn enlarges the circumference of your consciousness and allows you to hold your attention longer and exercise more. There are no incorrect forms of meditation. The truth is meditation, and you become what you meditate upon. In other words, where your attention is where you are. Automatically, evolution supplies numerous forms of meditation to fulfill the needs of the myriad stages of progression. All these forms of meditation utilize the kinetic energy created by an event to energize the will with potential energy. Destiny allows for no mistakes. The meditation practiced consciously or unconsciously by all humans is the correct one for them at their stage of evolution. When you master and are fulfilled with one form of meditation, you automatically flow on to another stage of progression. So, as not to avoid the issue of the ideal, complete meditation for those ready to listen and whose minds are open, several components are now presented which, when assembled and practiced, will place you at the door of your spirit's residence. Inside the door, you will find the sacred meditation of sexual ecstasy. The components of Summa meditation. Mental exercise. The in, you, the student, energize the attention with the potential energy stored in the will, directing and immersing the attention to the point of Summa, which is opposite to all action and manifested creation. above the vivid dream of physical body life. The end is the point wherein your attention, with a rhythmic mental dance, surrenders to the womb of creation. There the mind is immersed in the presence of the vibration of Summa, infinitely different from all action and manifest creation, above your appetite for the dreams of physical body life. 2. Physical exercise. The out. The body's respiration and heart rate is accelerated for a time equal in duration to the time your attention was immersed in the vibration of Summa. In order to bring the mind, body, and spirit, the whole person, into balance, and to move to the point of equilibrium between the point of Summa and all action and manifested creation, a dynamic, physical, rhythmic dance of exercise is practiced to exhaust the spiritual and physical toxins and impurities from the student. The heart, the seat of the soul, will exhaust the anger, jealousies, and imperfections when a rhythmic dance of dynamic exercise is practiced. The breath, the vent of toxins, will exhaust the impurities from the body and allow a higher spiritual vibration to rest within the mind, body, and spirit. The physical exercise is practiced with utmost intensity, and when completed, exhausts the body in a rhythmic dance of creation's pleasure. 3. Purification. As evolution continues, the mental, physical, and spiritual vibrations of the human race change. For humankind to continue to evolve, the body's vibration must be allowed to change. You are what you eat is a truth. The knowledge of eating comes with the opening of consciousness. It is best to avoid eating those creatures whose lives are taken so that you may eat them. Cleanliness is next to godliness, is a truth. Much use of water, both internally and externally, provides a purification element. Sleep is a requirement for mind, body, and spirit. Sunshine, contact with the sun, is necessary. Remember, moderation in all things, silence of mind, and your surroundings is critical, for you will become very sensitive to chaos. 4. Nectar publications. Nectar publications. Through psychokinesis, alchemy, the great advanced masters take juices, plants, herbs, and other ingredients and transubstantiate them into publications of liquid knowledge. These publications, when used under the guidance of the master, break down the barriers and dissolve the obstacles between the student and the door to the spirit. They are divine keys to unlock the doors to your spirit. The publications have vibrations, resonations, placed within the quanta particles of their substance, which, when consumed by the student, cause the mind, body, and spirit to resonate with these same vibrations. These nectars are a wonder of transubstantiation, and their use is a celebration of creation. Devotion. Without devotion, the student cannot succeed. The student must find dedication to something more important to him or her than their self or their ego. The student must become a disciple of a master. A disciple of a master. This discipleship must be permanent and last a total lifetime. To be able to emerge in the presence of Summum, that point opposite all action and manifested creation, above physical body life, The disciple must leave behind him or herself, ego. Let me read that again. To be able to emerge in the presence of Summum, that point opposite all action and manifested creation, above physical life, the disciple must leave behind him or herself. Self-ego will not emerge in Summum, for the ego is a fixation of memories from the points of all action and manifested creation. Your prison of bodily nature. A great master teacher once said, when you lose yourself to find yourself, this is a paradox of the whole matter. The goal of finding your spirit seems very elusive when you do not know what you will find. Although those disciples in search of the answer to what creation is will automatically be guided to this vehicle of meditation. A complete ideal meditation must include total devotion, trust, surrender, and love for a master more spiritually evolved than yourself that you're going to lose. This total devotion, this total surrender, this oneness, and this love must be complete union with the presently living master. For nothing rises higher than its source. Therefore, to continue your progression, you must join with a higher source. Any masters out there? When you gain total devotion to a living master, you will no longer need a master, for you will be one yourself. For only a master can recognize a true master. Then you will be devoted to the cause, Summum. This love is not a passion or compassion, but a love so complete you lose all obstacles and conflicts within your consciousness. A surrender not this complete is neither a oneness nor love, but just a compromise. Continue to practice, continue to read, continue to get ready and prepare. There will be no doubt when you truly surrender to a master. You will awaken either them or in your next incarnation as a master. Now, you will awaken either then or in your next incarnation as a master. What is a master? A master is a presently living being, an open door to God, one who has allowed the human kindness within to die and is reborn, awakened to God. A master is a being who is totally devoted to the cause of creation, Summum, God. A master is a portal for Summum, God. You will know a real master when you are in the presence of one, for a real master can take all thought from your mind and breathe the breath of life into you, filling your soul with God, Jesus, Oso, Buddha, Krishna, Mohammed, and thousands of others who all at one time living masters, portals of God. They are now in union with God, and no longer do they speak as Jesus, Oso, Buddha, Krishna, Mohammed, or as a master. They have become God. They are at a new beginning of eternal progression and infinite evolution. You have their words, their writings, their thoughts, their pictures, and their statutes. There are few masters that forego the final union with Summum, God, in order to work the pathways of spiritual evolution and assist the progression of humankind. What a master is not. A master is not a church, a temple, a shrine, a building, an idol, a book, a movie, scriptures, doctrines, principles, covenants, ceremonies, records, or words. A master is not just a teacher. A master is a portal, an open door to creation, Summum, God. Until you are finished preparing to surrender, continue to read, to chant, to meditate, to channel, to pray, to believe, to worship, to attend church and ceremonies, etc. You will never be able to recognize a master until you are finished getting ready. It is through the surrender to a master that you will know a master for God. For in the act of surrender, you become a master. You see, it takes one to know one. Summum, God, cannot flow through you until you become a portal and an open door. Until you go away and die, until you surrender to a master and are reborn awakened, you will remain an obstacle closed to the flow of God's essence through you. You insist on being miserable. You insist on being blind. You insist on being what you think you are. You protect your ego. You defend your beliefs. You build an armor against Summa and God. Until you can listen, open your mind, and be touched by a master of God, you will never recognize or become an open portal for God. The perpetuation of this obstacle seems to lie in the fact that most humans are devoted to their personal ego master. The ego master, which you give power to in moments of unbalance, seizes you, overcomes you, reveals you to yourself, and sometimes, even by surprise, succeeds in making you the king of yourself. Here your attention is held, vibrating with the resonation of your lower ego, leaving no possibility for true devotion. Honesty signals the beginning of your surrender as you start to fall in love with the Master. In your meditations, the silence will begin to awaken you to who you are or who you think you are. Feelings of guilt from being dishonest will ascend to the forefront of your consciousness, and you will begin to become afraid. It is Judgment Day, the day of your self-judgment. You will refuse to look at yourself. You will deny and you will struggle. Let go of the guilt. Move on and leave guilt behind by falling even deeper in love with the Master. As you fall in love, your love will allow you to see your dishonesty, your cleverness, your cunning, your avoidance of truth. The greater your love, the greater your honesty, culminating with your love turning into devotion. Initiation. With this ideal form of meditation, initiation is necessary. For the disciples who are about to lose themselves to find their spirit, it must be possible for them to know where to look. Their present consciousness is vibrating with all action and manifested creation, bound in the intense dream of physical body life, thus preventing their attention from knowing where to look. The disciple needs to surrender to a master that is a portal for Summum and vibrates with the resonance of the open consciousness of Summum. The vibration within the master is what the disciple is given. This will add light to the mystery, that the Father is in me and I in him. This esoteric initiation is similar to the previously stated analogy of the resonating tuning forks. The disciple, tuning fork, is placed next to the master, the other tuning fork, who resonates with the vibration of Summum. The master then instills the resonation within the disciple's soul, and the disciple and the master become one. Thus, the disciple is brought into permanent union with stable-matic feedback, bonded with the sound of silence, with the sound of creation itself. You, the disciple, will find me in the sound of creation, and I will guide you to your next destination. This connection is necessary, like a choice culture for yogurt or a prize yeast for fine champagne. You can have all the right ingredients, but without the activation or catalyst, there is no actual results. The yeast is the catalyst for the fermentation process, which turns grapes into wine. To quote another example, a tiny piece of metal in the form of a key must be used to turn on the powerful engine of an enormous vehicle. No key, no travel. This initiation cannot be told or read about, but only given through a living master by communion, oneness, a union, a physical bonding with the master. It is an art that cannot be learned through reading, hearing, seeing, or any of the senses. Truly, it is a gift from a God. A collective meditation is most preferred. The effectiveness of the mental exercise is increased by practicing in a group. The mental exercise becomes even more effective when practiced in a group within a Summum pyramid. Likewise, the results of physical exercise are enhanced when the exercise is practiced in a group as opposed to by yourself. For the sum of the collective group in meditation is greater than the individuals alone. Obstacles and barriers. Most human minds allow their attention to be attracted to so many events in thought and action that they dwell in the field of possibility somewhere near the point of closed consciousness. They are involved with the concerns of their personal ego master. They are involved in their physical body life. Excuses are a predominant obstacle to eliminating all obstacles. Excuses are created by your personality, ego, to justify and rationalize its behavior. So long as you excuse yourself, no progression is possible. The process of awakening to your spirit involves knowing your own tendencies and admitting the real motives behind your actions. Dwelling in action, spiritually asleep, is its vivid dream of physical body appetites. Near the point of closed consciousness, the human mind modifies its perception of reality through the following. Correct ideal. Holding a perception of something, a process of mentally defining something with which you make contact, or accepting the testimony of a qualified expert regarding something and judging that perception or point of view to be the right or proper or the only way to perceive it. Perception is dependent upon perspective, and perspective is your position in space-time and consciousness. There are many perspectives for viewing things, whether it be something tangible, like a pencil, or intangible, like a subjective ideal. For example, to a person viewing the sun from the earth, it may appear as a large yellow ball of intense light. To a person viewing the sun from a planet in the outer reaches of the solar system, it appears as a small, bright blue star. Another person may view the sun as